Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Kang the Conqueror appears to be Marvel's new Phase 4 Big Bad, with confirmation that Jonathan Majors is playing a major role in Ant-Man 3 that multiple sources are reporting to be Kang. Now, you might have seen Majors in Lovecraft Country on HBO, a great show that you should definitely be watching, or in Spike Lee's Da 5 Bloods on Netflix alongside Chadwick Boseman. And Kang is a fellow we've been talking about since I made an hour's worth of videos breaking down 2 seconds of footage from Loki on Disney+. Here, I'm gonna dive deeper into who Kang is and how this guy's gonna tie into the Ant-Man 3 plot based on everything we know. But also how Kang is the missing link that closes other quantum tunnels of possibility, leaving us with one clear path forward for how Marvel is gonna set up Loki, Ant-Man 3, the Fantastic Four, and a future Young Avengers title. Spoiler warning for everything Marvel's future, because now there is a future once more. Don't. Okay, Kang is Marvel's ultimate time travel villain, a master of countless timelines from a distant future, amassing wealth and weaponry from various histories on various planets to create a dynasty of himselves, all feeding Kang Prime at the very end of all time. He's come into conflict with the Avengers, with the Fantastic Four, he kidnaps them, he traps them back in time, he's just kind of an all-around time dick. Now in the MCU, Avengers Endgame broke time with their time heist, and going forward in this age of timelessness, Kang is king. He's essentially what Tony Stark was unknowingly referring to when he said,
"You mess with time, it tends to mess back. You'll see."
But in later comics, Kang was suggested to have been the younger man, Nathaniel Richards, who is a 31st century descendant of Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. If you saw some reports saying that Majors was playing Nathaniel Richards' father to Reed Richards, those reports are wrong.
Wrong, sir. Wrong!
But before we continue, thanks to Vessi for sponsoring this video. And you may have noticed it from my good mood this video that, yeah, I've been wearing them all video. Vessi makes these knit sneakers that are 100% waterproof and weatherproof. They're super breathable too, so they don't let any liquid in, but they do let the air move out. They also have an antimicrobial insole, so your little piggies will stay smelling fresh. And Vessi's shoes are super stretchy, like a rubber band. They fit like a sock, but they only weigh 175 grams, which is the same amount as an iPhone without your big ass case. They're made with this cool material that keeps your feet warm in cold weather and helps heat escape during those steamy months, which here in hot LA was pretty great when I had to do some outdoor stuff. I am hosing down my roof right now, but uh-oh, wait a minute, I'm getting water all over my shoes, yet my little piggies are bone dry. Everything's coming up, Erik! Get $25 off your own pair of Vessi shoes when you use my link in the video's description. Click that link for $25 off these cool weatherproof knit sneakers. So Kang blipped up on our radar when the early Loki footage showed the God of Mischief in a prisoner jumpsuit stamped with TVA for Time Variance Authority, Marvel's time cops and time enforcement agency tasked with investigating and patching all the ruptures to the time stream. And it stands to reason that the TVA's most wanted from the comics, Kang would also tie into that plot. But Kang, now confirmed as the villain of Ant-Man 3, bridges all of this together. Because the biggest lingering mystery from Ant-Man and the Wasp was that hidden city in the quantum realm, which director Peyton Reed confirmed to be an intentional Easter egg planted for a future title. And based on this news, it appears that that city is Chronopolis. Chronopolis is Kang's home city-state, located on the outskirts of the timeless dimension Limbo, with access points to every time era that Kang has conquered. Each city block of Chronopolis exists in its own time period. And this makes sense. Chronopolis and this quantum realm city have matching domed appearances. And you know, if the city's domed, our man Kang is homed. Now, the Marvel Cinematic Universe established the quantum realm as the dimension containing time vortexes, which of course allow branches into alternate timelines. The way most cities in world history were constructed along key waterways, mountain passes, crossroads, I think Kang built this city on rock and roll, but more importantly, at the nexus points of his various bridges through time. Janet Van Dyne didn't go into a time vortex, she steered clear of them.
And don't get sucked into a time vortex. We won't be able to save you.
That is why Janet aged normally in the quantum realm, whereas Scott Lang stayed young via time dilation and traveled ahead 5 years into the future. He did go into a time vortex. In fact, I think Scott's use of that time vortex and all of the Avengers hijacking time vortexes in Endgame is what has drawn Kang into conflict with them. Kang is a master of time. That network of vortexes that lead to the past is a toll bridge that he lives under. He's the troll. And Ant-Man and his buddies just blew right through this toll booth without answering any of the riddles. More importantly, Kang exists because the can of time travel worms has been opened and the time stream has flowed in a specific destined path. The Avengers changed that destiny with the time heist, undoing Thanos' snap so that half of all life that was supposed to have been dusted is now back, and Thanos ain't. I believe Kang is Kang because he benefited from that post-apocalyptic future, and now he's pissed that the Avengers erased that future from existence, threatening his existence. So I believe the Loki Disney Plus series will follow Loki after Endgame, having violated the rules of the time stream by breaking free of the Prime MCU timeline. Now the TVA is freaking out because the multiverse is a mess. Owen Wilson's working overtime trying to get it back in order. Ka-chow, I better be getting time and a half.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
They must know the Avengers were involved, but Loki is the one suspect they got their hands on. His only path to freedom is to help them investigate this chain of time crimes that have now erupted since the time heist. And all those time crimes, it turns out, are committed by the same rogue criminal, a figure that by the end of Loki season 1 is established as Kang. Ant-Man 3 will then pick up this mystery. Peyton Reed recently promised the third film will be more sprawling than the first two, with a very different visual template. By that, I think he is referring to Kang, a name that Janet Van Dyne will recognize as a tyrant from her decades in the quantum realm, the reason she stayed away from that city and its time vortexes. But when they return to the quantum realm to investigate that city, they find it deserted. Kang's shining retirement home is in ruins since the Avengers shattered his destiny with their time heist. Ever since, Kang has been going back through the time stream, restoring his paradise block by creating paradoxes across the multiverse and pissing off the TVA. But his ultimate destination, the logical one for any time traveler, the birth of time travel itself, in this universe, the invention of Pym particles. Hank Pym invented Pym particles sometime before 1970, since his past self had them in Endgame in that year. So he must have developed that tech sometime during the 1960s, when younger Michael Douglas might have been working alongside scientists like Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm, and Victor Von Doom. Peyton Reed has long dreamed of directing a Fantastic Four movie set in 1960s New York. I think Ant-Man 3 is finally giving him that opportunity. You could even work in Mad Men era John Slattery, Howard Stark, it's perfect! So I think Kang is returning to that era to steal the original Pym tech to make himself once more the master of time, creating countless new branch timelines in which the Avengers are never able to complete the time heist and thwart Thanos, thus restoring Kang's throne. And by bringing the Fantastic Four to the present via the quantum realm, that quantum energy that gave Janet Van Dyne her healing powers could be what gives the Fantastic Four and Doom their powers. We could even learn that Stark Tower used to be their base of operations, the Baxter Building in the 60s, and now in the future they can reclaim it, which explains those clues we saw in Spider-Man Far From Home. Meanwhile, Kang's existence theoretically means his younger self, 31st century Nathaniel Richards, could meet teenage Cassie Lang, a partnership between Iron Lad and Stature in this future Young Avengers team-up that Marvel appears to definitely be moving toward. Look, we're gonna go more into the MCU Phase 4 implications with Kang in Thursday's episode of Rogue Theory. Be sure to check it out. You can discuss these theories directly with me on New Rockstars' official Discord server by becoming a patron at patreon.com/newrockstars. Follow me on Instagram at EA Voss, follow New Rockstars, and subscribe to New Rockstars for breakdowns of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Boom.